What is happening, lovely peoples of the internet? Welcome to another episode of Casters on the Block. My name is Syndicate Snivy, or Tonio. I'm here with Gerd.
Hello.
Gert on the spot. He was spinning around his chair.
Gert
'Cause
was not expecting that.
Go next.
Bro, the
Next.
unblockable, bro.
He's always last. What's up? I'm the Waffle Man, and today I'm being haunted by the ghost of Ritual.
How's it going, everybody? I'm not a ghost. I just look a little bit different today, I guess. Camera's not on. I'll probably talk about it publicly soon. Just going through a little bit of a moment, but didn't really feel like having my camera on. But I am joined with the infinitely more fantastic and attractive looking version of myself. Clearly, do you wanna introduce yourself?
Is that my segue?
Yeah, that is your segue. You're in my little box, so you are me.
What is up, everyone? My full name is Ronald Shin or Ron Shin, but more people know me as Wolfie Scratch. Hello, thanks for having me.
One of the
Excited.
GOAT commentators on the West Coast for sure.
Hey, you already know. I just want to thank you for joining us. I know you live in fake time zone, gang, and we had to make you get up early in the morning, set that
Oh,
alarm
man.
and everything.
Nah, you know what? I'm not having it.
You know what's
Oh,
funny?
Fuck you. Fuck East Coast.
No,
Fuck your fake ass time zone.
All I'm saying is Snivy,
Yeah,
Wolfie and Yin are in the same time zone.
that's true. I will still continue to
Yin is
diss
fake
them.
too?
No, but what's funny was
Yeah,
when
but-
Wolfie and I were arguing in that comment section or in the Twitch chat of like that one podcast episode. She was saying about how our water's so bad over here. It's crazy that the same weekend, everybody who went to fucking Collision got sick from the water because of that stupid ass illness.
Yeah. Hey, our water might be bad over here, but at least we have.
First of
water.
all, that wasn't
It's
from
not
the
that
water.
bad.
That's just
from the
nor
food.
that's just
I thought it was the
norovirus.
glizzy.
Yeah, it was just norovirus.
No, it's norovirus, guys. It's just
Oh,
it's
okay.
just like it's like a
This is a thing, yeah.
It's like a contact disease. Like my hospital literally has
Yeah.
an outbreak right now. Like
No, I like the water one. That makes me look better.
Well, it's like
so.
the
Or the
water
chicken
cause-
sand, but the
'Cause
chicken
everyone's
sandwich
going
one was
to
the
water
funniest
cooler.
one.
Everybody's touching that
Bro,
in the cups and they're getting water. so-
I'm still saying though, the chicken sandwich was the funniest.
it
one.
was.
Like Fab's tweeting about the chicken sand. Like the fact that that's the one that went viral too.
I
Oh,
did not survive the Collision chicken sandwich.
or the glizzy. Oh,
The glizzy, I also did not survive the glizzy. The glizzy got me fucked up.
oh my god.
But that's another reason.
All right, so what do we want to talk about today, guys? Because I don't really have anything to talk about.
I
'cause
mean-
I don't go to events. I'm a flaker.
well, that's
we know
not
this.
true, Reed. You're going to an event this weekend. Why don't you talk
We'll
about
that
it?
one later.
No.
We'll talk
Okay.
about Smash first.
I tried to segue into it. I tried, guys.
We
I
usually-
tried.
We're not about segues out here.
I mean, there's a lot of events coming up this weekend. If we want to start there, I know
Well,
normally we don't just talk
Well,
about
usu-
events coming up, but we're gonna all be at almost every single one of them in the U.S.
Well, I would like
in
to talk
different
to
capacities.
my good friend Wolfie, who we've taken
That
the
is
time
awesome.
out of their day to wake them up early and be here.
look at that lovely face.
But what do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about how the West Coast sucks all podcasts? Because I'm down. I'm down to do
Yeah.
Coast Wars.
rough.
But
Hey,
I don't.
hey,
I,
hey, hey,
I
hey.
don't.
Some of my favorite casters are out on the West Coast.
I don't think that's good content though. But I'm down to do it. I'm down to make bad content.
East
Okay,
Coast,
so
East
Xanadu
East
Homecoming.
East
Oh,
Coast has a
Xanadu
bunch of good
Homecoming.
players at the top, and then
How
they
many
have
people
nothing
registered?
else.
320 or something?
Uh,
That's the cap.
I'm
Wolfie,
trying to look
I
it
would
up
I
right
would
now.
if you think that the East Coast only has good players at the top and then nothing, come watch New England.
No,
I'm not
New,
watching
saying-
that.
New
Our
England
region's
sucks.
ass.
New England
Wolfie's like, I don't want
sucks.
to watch a mid-off, bro.
ass.
Dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
First of all, New York and Tri-State would be like a better example of this because every time I go to Encore, I get like
Yes.
dusted by their like O tour, and I'm like, what the heck is going on
Encore's
here?
fucking, it's like if you're not at that like consistent seal floor of like a mid-level player, you're gonna go like 1-2-2-2. You get to like the the higher echelon of the bracket. You face like Gatsby and Noku. Washed. You're getting washed. All right.
Yeah, okay, that is fair. Noku does like pretty regularly, top like 3 CT locals when he comes down, and then it like doesn't top 8 Encore consistently.
And we have like what is it? Quid, Cody. I know Player 4 comes. Cran. I know the John Mark is starting to break out. He just got top 8 the other day, getting 5th place. And my boy Infon getting top 8. Let's go. Let's go.
Nah, it's a SoCal sweep. I don't care. Let's move
Actually,
on to the
I
next
want to
point.
hear how are locals like in your area?
In SoCal?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Well, they have
pretty-
MSM again now, so they
They're
don't
pretty-
suck anymore.
they're pretty good. We've been like coming back, and like a lot of players are consistently like going to locals now, which is like a really good thing for me.
That's awesome. We do not get that even still.
Like,
Yeah.
let me check the SoCal PR to see which ones are consistently going.
Because I always look over at like your guys' brackets and everything, and I'm like, damn, all the top players be going. The guys from Mexico go. Like I sometimes see like Leo, Big Boss. I don't.
Oh
really see
yeah,
Fargo.
it's a big part because Leo, Big Boss, and Andrik, we house them. My sponsor,
Ah.
like we do it, and we smoked weed before as well. It's a
Wow.
banger, I'm not
Shout out
gonna
That's
420 day.
I'm just
That's
gonna
very
also
cool.
say, Big Boss, one of the nicest people, honestly. Like,
Oh yeah.
he is just actually just such a sweet human being. He's so incredibly polite. We talked a lot this weekend.
I'm glad to hear it. Big
Uh,
Boss is one of my friends, like honestly.
Along with one of the goats for real in Kronos.
Speaking
Which
of,
I
All right, here we go. Here we go. So Chase goes to locals. Monty goes to locals. Andrik will shark locals here when he comes over and beat everyone up. Nito goes to locals. Tyrinx goes to locals. Zenu goes to locals. Marvelous Murphy goes to
Bro,
locals.
Zenu is actually cracked.
Jason goes to locals. Caesar, Kairos, Quinn, Peckham tries to, but he's like has a job and he's like an adult. So
boo.
and I mean like an
I have
adult
work to
adult.
do.
Screw
Yeah,
those
shout out to
guys.
Nelvin.
Demon,
For being an
Mind,
adult.
Elvis, Dragnail, yep. Nico. Yeah, Nico does try his best. He's a full-time job and girlfriend. Lucian, Toru, Glug, Ignis. Yeah, every single person on the SoCal PR is actually putting in work
Well,
and going up
damn.
locals.
That's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know in Tri-State over here, our players are not so involved anymore. But as of late, I'm starting to see a shift of top players going to their locals now.
It's
What do you-
it's mostly because Jackal goes to everything, and everyone wants to play Jackal. In Tri-State, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say Jackal. Like without Jackal, people would not be going to their locals.
I mean, even
And-
Brad's like. the
And
reason
Zomba's
why.
running a local now.
Zomba's running a local? Is
Yeah,
it Smash
Zomba-
Island or just something
Yeah,
else?
Zomba runs Smash Island,
Okay,
and has done that for a little while now.
I've been aware of Smash Island. One day I'll make it out, but it's
It's
just like
Technic-
so far.
I think it's technically SPT's tournament, but Zomba does TO it.
Okay.
Speaking of, like top players not going to locals, do you guys think that? Because this is something that Massachusetts does every time. Do you think players should not make the power ranking if they don't go to locals?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it's a local power ranking. It is how you are doing in your region. If you do not compete in your region, I don't think you should be ranked in your region. That does not mean you can't be ranked nationally. That doesn't mean everyone doesn't know how good you are. It just means that you aren't ranked because you aren't in a place you aren't competing in. It's the same thing as like, why is DeBuzz, why are we not ranking DeBuzz in Kansas? We know DeBuzz is better than every player in Kansas. Well, he doesn't compete there. He doesn't live there. But like,
Dude.
if the only other difference is you live there, but you don't actually ever compete there, what's the difference?
Imagine DeBuzz did that for a YouTube video. It's like, I moved to Kansas. I went to for a week. Just goes to like 5 Kansas locals. Gets like first at all of them. And then just has a good enough season to get first on the Kansas PR.
See, I used no, that's Kentucky. Never mind. See, I was mixing
mean,
up what state. I was
Sean
trying to use the
technically
region
could've
that
done
that Jin was from to kind of pull one over on you, waffle, but then it didn't. I got the state wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
Dang.
If a player does that, they'll just be they won't be on the we do in SoCal, right? We do point fives or rank 0 depending on how well you do. Like Anvik is not from here, but he's ranked 2.5 because of his performance, and he qualifies for PR.
Yeah.
I
We
can
we
kinda see
have
that. It's like
I
your
was-
tier zeros, basically.
yeah we have a residence declaration, but we also don't do zeros on I think any New England PR.
No.
I know-
Rhode
I
Island
know-
does 0. Rhode
what?
Island does 0 for Sharp.
Rhode Island does 0 for Sharp.
Yes.
That ma-
And that's like the only case.
Yeah, because I know like New England or CT used to, but stopped when or there was one season when Mass did for Mars. I know that, but for the most part they don't. I know CT never will. Hindsight really does not like zeros because what's the point?
I think the only reason that Mass did 0 for Mars like one time is because he literally just didn't attend anything.
Yeah.
But if he attended, then he would have gone PR. But almost all the time, Mars is on the PR because he goes to other stuff
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't know, man.
as the residence MAPR panelist.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
you know your stuff better than we do, for sure.
My thing is just like we know those guys are good. Just like the whole point of the PR is to give spotlight to players in the region. So like, I don't even like if they're not showing up to locals. Like, just give them give the one spot to somebody else who deserves it. That's how I think about it.
Looks at like
But then it hardly matters because then you know that
P-
oh, like I got the number 1
Power
spot.
rank,
But like,
power rankings don't matter. That's the thing.
of course.
it don't matter.
They,
That's
they
the
don't.
thing.
Why? I hate that Ultimate does this. Why do we have a power ranking season every 3 months? It's like if you get
need it for
if
seeding.
you get
Because
But,
the
like,
meta shifts too fast.
the-
but also,
No,
exactly.
it doesn't.
No,
Exactly.
I'm just gonna say,
does not.
I am very, very, very in favor of how I don't know if y'all saw how New Jersey's doing their PR this time around.
E tier in New Jersey.
I'm an E tier player, baby.
Dude,
Let's
that-
go.
I
Did you
think
see
the-
that Wolf, by the way.
So funny.
The tier thing.
All I'm
Yes.
saying is I don't care. Like I think it's cool that New Jersey did that, but I'm literally just gonna go in order from left to right, from top to bottom, and I'm just gonna see like whoever it was at the bottom. Like, oh yeah, you're like number 10. I don't care. Or I'll say like, oh, you're like numbers 7 through 10.
I
on
actually,
your-
I just like, I
your
prefer
rankings.
it honestly to numbered PRs. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
I think
people will
it's
still complain no matter
I
what.
think it's
Yeah.
fine. I saw a suggestion, a quote tweet that was like they should change it to like Grandmaster, Diamond Player, like Challenger, stuff like that. So it's not like I'm in.
It's the
I'm
same
in.
thing though.
No, but like so that it's like in my bio on Twitter because that's only what power rankings are for. I'm not gonna want to put I'm a D tier New Jersey player because that makes me sound like a scrub. I sound like a fucking scrub if I put I'm a D tier New Jersey player in my bio. Instead, I'm putting like platinum level New Jersey Smash Brothers Ultimate player. That sounds hot. That sounds sick. But I think the best part about this is that it implies that everyone who's not PR is F tier.
Well, no, the thing is, it
Honestly,
implies they're
yeah.
below F tier because they were apparently originally gonna have an F tier, and there's a tweet documenting who was under consideration for F tier before they scrapped it.
Dang.
So
For me personally, I think that tier system is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I think it's horrible. Like, you will not catch me on comms saying that, yeah, this is an E tier play.
oh no, I'm never gonna. I don't think it's good for like
And-
commentators. I just think it's good to reduce like player competition.
Well,
That's why I
no,
would
just
say,
in
like,
general. It just doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Because,
why
like,
I'd say that, like, oh, who's a good example from the New Jersey pair? Like, oh, if Mateo or Ranger, like, I'm not gonna say an E tier player from New Jersey on their PR. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
they're like on the bottom end of the New
Yeah,
Jersey PR.
The lower
Because-
echelon.
Yeah. Because
to me, it's
saying
just better to say
the tier
number.
is so hard if you don't understand the context, especially if you're not from that region. The number, you could obviously just like count like either they're like 10 or 12. Actually, how many people were on the PR itself?
For New Jersey,
1, 2, 3,
I think 15
5.
here, right? 15.
God,
It's 15.
so
They usually do
gross.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clean. I like the art for it, and I love the little thing where it breaks it
The
down.
video was also very nice. Talking about it.
But
I also
But
want to take a second to
no.
shout out the fantastic artwork that NESI has done. I'm just saying.
Let's go.
The New England Smash Invitational.
Yeah, the New England Smash Invitational
All right.
artwork
Wait,
for their
wait.
players goes kind of dummy.
You guys are wait. Are we? Isn't it just Nessie? I feel like
Nessie.
I feel like Nessie's.
ASI, Nessie. it's the same
Nessie
thing.
sounds so much cleaner. Please call it Nessie. Anyone who is watching this, Nessie goes hard.
But yeah, Soupy has been primarily responsible for putting out the graphics, and he's been doing an incredible job.
They-
And there's a few other graphic designers that I cannot say.
It's me?
Who are working.
I'm a graphic designer. I'm good.
Yeah, there are a
Is-
few other graphic designers on the team.
You mean
and other artists.
You mean till
so-
another time?
What?
Oh, I have no confirmation of that. I'm just assuming that till another time is involved because she's hella talented and from Connecticut.
Yeah.
I have
This
no-
is- this is
no actual
awkward.
knowledge.
We need to move on. We need to move on.
Anyways, I have no actual knowledge.
Whoa,
of
whoa,
the
whoa!
situation.
Segue! I have a segue! I have a segue!
I'll say,
Nessie! Oh my God! Nessie is happening. What are you guys talking about? New England Smash Invitational. Are people
Whoa.
getting nominated? Is there a nomination phase? Can somebody tell me? I don't know.
Yeah, nomination phase begins next Monday and ends the following Friday. So you have a full 5 days to start getting as many votes, and you can opt in if you're from New England. Or if you're not from New England, you have to have been in New England for some amount of time for, some reason like school or family and such.
And that is within what recency time period? Because it's also notable that like players like Hawk, who are longtime New England, are still not eligible.
Yep.
So what is the recency period of which you've had to have been in New England, Gerd?
I'm reading the rules right now.
Do we have one listed? 'Cause
Oh,
if
wait,
not,
wait.
They're
we really should fix that.
damn, bro. New England gotta get it together. I'm kidding.
Nah, we're getting.
Yeah, residency clause. In order to qualify as a nominee for the NESI Invitational, blah, 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 you must currently be residing in New England now and during the time of the event. Residing, quote unquote, is defined as permanently staying in New England or long-term living in New England as a circumstance of college or similar. So Hawk would not qualify because
Yes.
he is not currently in New England.
Okay.
Yeah.
that is
Doesn't
a
matter if he
good-
was. Doesn't matter if he was ranked before. He has to be now.
You must live
So like
in New
someone like
England.
Cyro
Now.
can qualify because they have lived and permanently live in Mass. They are just away in Europe.
I will
for
say
school.
there is a player I know considering trying to qualify that has not been seen at New England tournaments since pre-COVID.
And who is that?
Panini.
Panini.
I
We
like.
were talking about
I don't know
Panini.
who. I don't know who that is, but I love the tag.
Penny is a Ken player and is responsible for a lot of the innovation on the tech front in the Ken meta. Actually, just in general, she's a huge labber and data gatherer of the character. She was pretty widely considered to be 11th in Connecticut pre-COVID, and in the canceled CT Smash Invitational, she was actually one of the invitees. She just didn't get to go because COVID happened, and then that kind of took her away from competing in Ult. She currently competes in Strive, but she was
I mean,
considering
Panini
making a
is
comeback
a
for the
permanent
NESI.
resident.
Oh yeah, she
of-
is. I'm
Yeah,
saying
so
I'm just
yeah.
saying that like this is a big deal for New England, and we have players who have not been active in a long time, considering becoming active again to try and qualify for this.
Yeah. It's also important to note that only 2 players from each state move on to the actual voting phase. This is just the nomination phase. So like Brevity and I don't know, Nuggets could be nominated from Massachusetts based on like pollings and such. But like people like Palka could miss out because he didn't get like enough nominations. But then that doesn't mean that he still can't get into the tournament. He could still get in through qualifiers because a lot of people are going to try to go to all the qualifiers, but there are some people who probably don't have a good shot at winning the qualifiers, but will probably get in through vote-ins because of how popular they are. So it's going to be interesting to see, because at least one person from a non-Massachusetts or CT state will get in, guaranteed. There's no guarantee that like a state like Rhode Island or Vermont will get a vote in, but there is at least a chance
Oh.
that someone not from Mass or someone not from CT.
It
That
would
was a
be-
big issue the last time.
It would be really funny though if we actually had no C tier Mass players get voted in.
That's impossible.
not
I
happening.
think that's impossible, right?
Yeah, it's not impossible.
Oh, okay.
But the scope at which all the other states need to really back their players is going to be tremendous, because there are a lot of people from like Mass, CT, Vermont, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire that will back like their players. Like some states already have like players they are almost 100% going to be backing, like as a priority to make sure that they get into NESI. So
Which players
it's going to be a
would
tough
those
competition.
Would you like to?
X and Park Ninja from Vermont are like the ones that people are backing like 100%. I know Danila is the favorite from Maine that everyone's going to be voting for. Insignia from New Hampshire is one of the top ones because Cabell is not going to want to qualify through vote-ins. Luxa Jerry Toxex wants to qualify normally, probably not through vote-ins, but I don't really know.
That man might end up having, if Pelka does not get into the event somehow, if he does not win a qualifier, if he does not get in, which I think is unlikely that he does not win a qualifier. I'm just gonna say it.
He's going to win a qualifier.
However, I think if he's not, then I think Jerry might actually be wearing the most different hats at the event if he does get in.
What do you mean?
I cannot elaborate further on this podcast at this time.
That's crazy.
You'll have to tune in July 29th and 30th to find out.
So basically, what I wanted to talk about was that I don't see any meme pics campaigning, and I'm pissed. I'm pretty pissed
6
off.
a.m. baby.
6 a.m.
He's
is not
both
a meme pic.
and
I don't
entirely
think 6
serious.
a.m. is a meme pick.
Oh,
That's
no.
like a real contender.
6
Yeah, but
a.m.
we're
is just
trying
he's just a
we're trying
big
to-
personality. He's not
we're
a
trying
meme
to con-
pic.
Yeah, but that big personality does not equal meme.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but no, not by itself. But we're trying to convince him to wear an Incineroar cosplay to the event.
No,
if he gets in.
no. He needs to wear the chain. I mean,
No,
he's
he'll wear
probably gonna
both.
Wear, like,
He'd
yeah.
wear both. Gerd, we're trying to up the ante, up the bit, reach new heights. They might say.
So yeah, basically, if any meme pics would like to run a campaign, I work a full-time job, so please run, and I will back your campaign, and
Hey,
you
Reed, it
might
sounds like
actually
you-
get in.
Reed, it sounds like maybe you should run a campaign.
I'm not. I don't want to do that. I don't play this game enough. That would be
Peer pressure.
insulting to the event.
Peer pressure, the 2-2 were right there.
True.
And by the way, congrats, by the way. 2-2 at BSB.
Yeah,
Beating the
I beat the
allegations.
allegations. Okay, what else about NESI can we talk about? Or do we want to go to
Well,
homecoming?
I was gonna say before we jump over past NESI, Wolfie, as someone not from New England, not from Tri-State, how do you? I don't know if SoCal's done any. I mean, obviously you guys have actual summit in California.
We had
or-
actual.
You okay? That is fair. You had. I'm sorry.
Still hurts, man.
But it hurts so bad. But do you guys also have any regional invitationals, that style of event? And I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't think we've had one. It would be cool if we could, though. And I think we're definitely gonna think about it in the future about those kind of things, cause like those things are fun.
They are
You
really
know, like
They really are.
being able to like find out more. Yeah.
And they're a great opportunity for TOs who haven't worked together as much to work together too. They're a great opportunity for casters to kind of also get an opportunity at a bigger scale event like that, because you are still just consolidating all your region's top talent into a place. So even if it's not a national level, it's great for the players. It's great content for viewers. I honestly, like, I think those events, in terms of the opportunities they provide to everyone in the community, are just up there with the most that you can kind of, like, the biggest opportunities you can kind of put together, and for a whole variety of reasons. And I think it's also a big reason why Summit in terms of production, in terms of the sponsorships they brought in, was always so big to our scene, not as a whole, just not even just because it was this event, but I think the style of event really lent itself to also being able to provide those opportunities as well.
I do think.
Yeah.
Ooh, you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's because, like, summit type of things, like, they allow players to be more expressive about themselves, which is hard to do in a major stage because of, like, time constraints and, like, it's not too social in that aspect. But at the same time, a lot of people want to see, like, their favorite players, like, up there and seeing more about them, and, like, Summit's been able to kind of, like, show more about it. And because, like, I mean, that's how, like, we get to see the personality of, like, Meister, right? That's like one of the big examples. Like, people fucking love that guy. On the everyone fucking hates his character. People think that guy's fucking hilarious.
He is,
which is,
really
like, perfectly
funny.
fair.
The Meister with a gun. The Meister with a gun sketch still makes me laugh so hard.
Oh yeah. Or like when Esam switched roommates.
Oh yeah, that's another really
what
good
was
one.
that one?
It's
That
like-
was like Summit 2. I want to say it was Alt Summit 2. Yeah, there's a sketch where Esam switches roommates and gets Meister and is just like, damn.
Oh, is that what prompted that, like, that interview from, like, 2019 or whatever? Am I crazy?
No.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a frame of
Summit
reference.
2.
I know what I'm talking about. Just forget whatever it is.
I knew it was Summit 2 because I knew that was the last Alt Summit that Esam was at.
Okay.
Damn. I still remember that my favorite bit for Summit was the lie detector.
Oh, that was a really good one.
Which one?
I
Which
wish-
summit was the lie
That was a good
detector?
one.
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's also it was really good for Melee. I love the skit, the time machine, the Mango time machine sketch.
That's a good one.
sketches.
I like that one a lot.
But, yeah. We're not talking
I
about
mean-
Summit right now.
We did that like 2 weeks ago.
I could talk about Summit skits all day. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean we can keep going.
I want to keep
Wait, hold
going.
on.
But back
Some-
to the
somebody
alright,
stop me.
Oh,
back to
no,
the topic
hold
of
on.
like
Here you go.
invitationals, right? I really fucks with the idea of invitationals, but it's like the right person just has to do it for the region.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, like for my region, like I'm gonna be doing a Mid Hudson regional. It's pretty easy. I have a sub region. I know pretty much everybody in the TOs and I'm the person to do it. I did it last year. I'm gonna do it again. But like, if I wanted to do a tri-state per se, I am not the person to do that. Like, how am I going to invite random top players to my house with no bag promise? I just say I got pretzels and I got fucking popcorn and there's a stream downstairs, guys. Go ahead and play.
Listen, Snivy, all I'm saying, you need commentators for that.
For what?
For the Mid Hudson, man.
Yeah,
For the Mid Hudson regional. I am technically our region's other commentator.
that is true, but you're always traveling and whatnot. But we'll see.
I don't know. It depends on when it is, but I'm
June
probably
3rd.
around. I am definitely free that week.
All right.
Is that the main?
Oh yeah, is it the
Local.
main one? Is it the main one? If
Ooh,
it's the
got
main
him.
one, then I'm not free.
Ooh, God.
Hmm.
I have to
Might
reach
be.
out to them about casting that event.
Fake mid Hudson commentator. Fake mid Hudson commentator.
Yeah, but we've known that. That's not new.
Ritual is not loyal to
You're
anyone.
not loyal.
Or to
You're
any
so damn
region.
Loyal.
Ooh.
Crazy.
I wouldn't be loyal to an East Coast region anyway.
Okay, listen,
Alright, bro.
listen. If
I'm
y'all
coming
had,
over there.
if y'all got the opportunity to go to Michigan and Texas, you would.
Texas lol.
Texas lol.
Also, I'm very loyal to New England. I do not miss New England events, except
gonna lie.
there is one exception to that, and it was literally everyone in New England told me to not go.
Oh, it's the first week in July, not June. My bad.
Wait, what event was that? Was that Legacy?
No, the Arcadian. That too. Legacy and the Arcadian, actually, I guess are the two. And
No, you're the one that decided to not.
yeah,
go to the
but
Arcadian.
for the record, I asked Cass, and Cass was like, "No, I think it makes sense for you to also just go to the like.
And I would have said the same thing. I think the Arcadian was hella worth it. It's just that for you, it might not have
Yeah,
been
no, that's
worth
what
it.
I'm saying. Is the Arcadian is a fantastic event, but it made more sense for me to go cast.
Was it Phoenix Down?
No, Phoenix Down was something else.
Forget
Was
what
just
it was.
another weekend. It was the Gamble.
Me
Oh,
personally,
Pittsburgh,
I
right.
would have just done both, but that's just
They're
me.
the same.
Yeah.
They're the
Don't
same
lie to
day.
the commentary
Wolfie.
experience,
I
by
just
the
would
way.
I would make it happen.
Grind
but
harder.
That's just me.
Grind
Wolfie, they're
harder.
the same day, same time, 9.5 hours
All,
apart.
all I'm hearing is just excuses, but that's just me.
Actually,
That's just
Hold on. I'm casting the come up on Saturday, and then
Who?
driving back home in time to get on and cast Best of the West on Sunday. So
What the fuck is
excuses
Best of
who?
the West?
Well, back in my day,
wait.
I
Oh,
would
you
have
had
to
that,
cast with the
talk to
megaphone.
her. Talk to her, Wolfie.
Back in my day, what I would have to do is that I had to walk uphill 3 hours both ways to get to my locals. So don't you whippersnappers coming into
When
me
I'm at
talking about
Wolfie,
casting.
when I'm at college, if I want to go to a local, the closest local is an hour car drive right away.
RTO
An
has
hour's
to drive
not
an
that
hour. L.
Generally, it's 2 hours though, because generally I just go to Fusion or Xeno.
Me personally, I would be.
Me personally.
I would just
whoa.
I would learn the talent of teleportation, so that's not an excuse anymore.
I just make
What
it
I'm
happen.
hearing here, y'all, is that everyone on this podcast, with the exception of Reed, are crazy grinders.
Yeah, not
And-
grinding.
I,
Woo.
no,
And-
No, I'm not a grinder.
crazy
I'm just built
grinder.
different.
I got I got car.
Wolfie, I will find the tweet from the random fusion where you were like, "No, I'm literally about to get home from major upset, but I'll cast. I'm a grinder. Put me on."
I do remember that. And
Like,
Wolfie
I have
was
the
like,
tweet
Yo,
where you-
dog, relax.
I have the tweet where you call yourself a grinder. I can find it because it's in it's in my notifications somewhere.
I got
I'm just built different, but that's just me. though.
Wolfie, I want you to talk about that for a second. I want to hear about your story. I want to hear about your grind,
About how I started.
basically.
Oh. We are
Damn.
very organized, y'all.
All right.
There's not many events going on.
I first.
There's a lot of events going on.
Let me see. I've been casting for 8 years.
That's so much. I didn't even realize.
You know I'm hitting like my 1 year anniversary in like next
Yo,
month.
me too. Let's go.
Next month.
Yeah, no, I am too. I am too. Reed, is our 1 year anniversary. Yours is you did Vortex 1, right? You were
Mm-hmm. Mine
technically
was
a week before
It was
me.
like May 12th or something.
Yeah, you
Yo,
were a
you
week
just skipped
before
over
me.
Wolfie.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I'm still better because of that 1 week. That's crazy.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
My
let Wolfie let the man let our friend speak.
I'm in my ego era. I'm interrupting people. I'm talking
Stop
my
ego
game up.
boosting.
Like you guys
Okay,
can't
we'll get
stop
there in a
me.
minute,
Alright,
folks.
I'll stop.
So I actually started with League of Legends. I originally started casting that one because back then I loved competitive games. That's something I just loved when I was a kid. Like I was on a Team Fortress 2 team. I hella grinded Counter-Strike. I just loved competition because I wanted to tell other people that I was fucking better than them. Because it's like a huge ego thing, but I loved pushing myself and I loved being better than other people. Because back then, that's all I had. I couldn't do school very well and whatnot because I had undiagnosed ADHD. So I had to cling on to something, which is what I did.
That's relatable
But-
content.
Yeah. What I did though is that I started to watch like esports and whatnot, and I was like, holy shit, I want to be on that stage, and I'm gonna fucking be one of the best players in the world. And it started a lot with TF2 doesn't have a really big scene, so I was like, all right, what's the next best thing? And I was like, Counter-Strike. All right, let's go there. Let's grind Counter-Strike. Let's be one of the best. And I kept practicing all the time. And what happened was that I ended up, because like school wasn't going well, I ended up like, I made an ultimatum for myself. I was just like, I either become a pro Counter-Strike player or I will die, because like I had nothing going in my life, because like it looked like I was not going to graduate high school, and if I can't graduate high school, I'm nothing. So, but as time went on, Counter Strike's really hard. I was good, but I was not one of the best. Like, I got to like the second highest rank in that game, and then I discovered that there's something called ESEA, where it's like even harder, and I was like, holy shit. I still remember like my first ESEA match. I got my ass beat, and that was a humbling moment. And let me tell you right now, humbling moments are great, but in the moment when you're feeling it, it's garbage. It's garbage realizing that you're not as good as you thought you were. Like it's like when you beat your friends in Smash Ultimate and you go to your first local saying, "Yeah, I got this." And then you get memed by the resident Donkey Kong player who ding dongs you every single time on that platform. You're like, "What the fuck was that? This character's supposed to suck."
Shout out Dankstep.
And
That's actually so funny because when I went to my first tournament, I sat down. It was at Shine 2016. I sat down, and the first person I played was a Donkey Kong, and I was playing Corrin, and I got fucking ass whooped in Smash 4, two-stocked all the time. I'm like, what the fuck do I do against this character?
Okay, but to be fair,
Yeah,
DK is actually
bullshit.
good in Smash 4.
Yeah, but like I got like beat the shit out of me. Granted, that person was like actually like MAPR at some point during Smash 4, so I got ultra shit on.
before I continue, I remember a story. Do you remember where MK Leo is just like, during their matches they would play, he'd be like, "Hey, can you switch off of Donkey Kong?" And Tweak's
Wait,
like,
what?
"No."
Yeah, no. Leo actually had a DK problem in Smash 4 and would be
told
like
Tweak.
and would literally be like, "Hey Tweak, can you get off this character? I don't
And Tweak
enjoy
is
this."
just smiling. No.
Yeah, 'cause-
they would make tags and be like, "Tweak, please." He's like, "No smiley face."
It's no smiley face.
Yeah. And now they're
Uh,
on the same esports team.
It's true.
Oh,
is
Yeah,
wild.
but yeah, what happened was that I kept doing that, and I realized that wasn't as good, and it made me really depressed. And so what I did was that I started transitioning into educating people about Counter-Strike. Like, I would host streams that would like teach people about the game and whatnot, because like I absorb knowledge like a sponge in a lot of games. Smash
Same.
included. So what happened was that back then with undiagnosed ADHD, I would spew it out constantly. But I guess for the future in commentary, I've learned how to channel that into a more digestible thing, because like, what's the point of all this knowledge you have if you can't properly translate it?
Spitting.
Then it's just wasted. And so what happened was that after that, I listened to casting. I'm like, holy shit, that's kind of cool. But I never really got into it because like I was just a really loud kid, and I also was like I couldn't like put my words together very well. So what happened was that after Counter-Strike, I went to Overwatch, got really good in that game, enjoyed the moments of Overwatch, and then when I left, I came back a bunch of years later. I was like, wow, this game's fucking garbage. So I never touched that game. Dude, I don't know if y'all were there at the beginning of Overwatch. It was
yeah.
the best fucking moments of that community. The fan art, the community,
I'm
the
just gonna-
competitive
I'm just
drive.
gonna say it wasn't even goats that killed the game. It was Rollock.
Sort of. I think it was Brigitte,
Yeah,
because
yeah. That's also fair.
yeah, Brigitte is like the Steve of Smash Ultimate, except that
She
they
just
could have
does
done
too
something
mu-
about. It was funny because like imagine like Steve being there, but Nintendo still made patches, and they never touched Steve.
Yeah, they-
for like 2 years. They just gave you a fucking middle
Yeah.
finger and said "fuck you."
They just kept patching like Roadhog and Zarya instead, and like Zenyatta.
I would have more respect for Sakurai if he did that. If he launched a new patch tomorrow, has bounce changes for every single character in the game except Steve,
It makes Little Mac good, but doesn't touch Steve.
I would die laughing.
He should just start removing characters until all we have is Steve.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody on Twitter did this. They were
agree.
like ban a character until we get like one, and it was like
Wait,
Donkey Kong
wait,
or
I can.
something.
Was it Ganon?
I'll actually.
It was
make
like
that,
Ganon
by
or
the
Donkey
way.
Kong was like
I'll
top-
it
actually,
was
I'll
Donkey
actually
Kong.
replace the whole character select screen with just 89 versions of Steve. I'll do it. Don't
Don't do that.
Oh,
please.
I have a. Fun
It's
thing
really
to talk-
easy.
I have a fun thing to talk about later, but I just remembered it. So what happens is I keep doing it, and I got back into League again, and what happened was just that I made a lot of friends through League, and some of them are my friends to this day. Like, so what happened was is that like Riot Games introduced something called the ASUS Microsoft tournaments, and that's where you can compete as a team, like in a LAN setting, which is really rare for these kind of games because it's really difficult to get these started. Because like the terrifying part about these big esports things is that it's really hard to get into tournaments because it's usually clouded by big majors, and there's no fucking way you and your little group of like silver friends are gonna qualify when you have global talent who will like stomp you out. That's why it's really difficult. That's actually like one of the blessings about the FGC, is that it doesn't matter if it's a major or a super major, you can still have a chance to play against these professional players, these big shot names, and interact with them. I think that's the biggest part, because like with esports and whatnot, you will not be able to interact with them unless it's at like an official signing or an official meetup, because of like how professional it is. But anyways, like I was saying, what happened was is that I went to those tournaments with my friends. And what happened was is that they had open casting available, and I was like, holy shit, that's really cool. I'm terrified though. I don't want to do it. And then by random chance, there was a time where there was casting, but there were usual people there who were the staff members weren't doing it. So in a moment, I was just like, holy shit, can I try? And they're like, yeah, no, they're cool with that. So like they gave me the microphone, and I just had a blast talking about the game and casting about what I saw. Was it good? Fuck no. It was fucking garbage. I'm glad the VOD doesn't exist. I'm glad the VOD doesn't exist, because I knew it was bad. But the thing was is that I was okay with it being bad. That's like the number one thing. I was okay with it being bad because I'm gonna be nice to myself and say that was the first time I was fucking talking to myself. I think people love to take jabs about themselves. I think people love to self-deprecate. I fucking hate it, because I came to a realization that it helps nobody. You make your friends really sad and uncomfortable. You make people who see you for the first time say, what the fuck is wrong? And like, the thing is that when people are laughing, they're not really laughing. They're like, it's like an uncomfortable, it's like, oh, okay. And like, if it's done in a humorous way, but if you're like serious about it and you do it all the time, I hate it. But I keep talking about that shit. I'm gonna like rip myself apart from like stemming to every single other topic. But what happened was is that I kept going. I kept doing it, and I would go back every single time, to cast and to practice and to learn more. And what happened was is that my quote unquote big moment was that there was a time where Riot took notice of our little event that's happening on here, because like it was all around the world, but ours was based in LA, and Riot Games is in LA, if you don't know, the studio. So they took notice for a little event, and we got like a notification where they were just like, yeah, we're gonna host a little like event at your event, and we'd like to make this big tournament, and we'd love like for y'all to get involved. And the staff members are just like, why don't you cast for this Riot sponsored event? And I was like, real? Are you serious? Like, are you actually gonna let me do this? Because like, this is Riot Games after all. Like, this is a huge deal. This is a huge company. So I did it. If you guys play League of Legends, what the special event is that we got to test was Clash. We got to test Clash for the first time, and
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm. So what happened was that went well. I was able to enjoy my time, and that's where casting started to get really rolling. And because of that, I made good contacts with like Riot people back then. Like, I got invited to Riot Games for their 10-year anniversary, which is like an event. I got invited to Riot Games, and my name is on the Riot Games wall, which is like one of my biggest moments of my life, where I got recognized as a person, as a member of the community who put in the effort and who put in like that kind of passion. but for casting and whatnot, that kept going and going. And for Smash, that's where like I started to kind of figure out my footing, because I was just like, what's the next best thing? Because like I can't cast for League. That's not gonna be possible. And to this day, and I'm kind of glad I'm not, because like, bro, they do not pay those casters are like kind of fucked right now, and like they need to make a union. It's so bad.
It's yeah.
You think our community's
Yeah.
bad?
Well-
But here you go. I'll post a picture real quick. 1 second. I went off, so I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I
Yeah,
like
you're good.
talking.
You are so
It's
okay.
not.
That's the whole point of a podcast, is we all get to share our mad rants with each other.
We're all
Here you go.
commentators. We all go off the fritz.
Oh, I go off the Fritz.
Waffle always.
If you guys,
goes off the
yeah, if y'all want to look at that, that's there we go.
Going off on a side topic, Waffle, I like how you did the emoji eyes under my post saying that it with my friend who's trying to run another SM64 70-star like tournament where I'm like need casters and the emoji with like the fingers pointing towards each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I wanted to do it last year and he didn't let me do it last year, but he said he would give me a spot, so maybe I can try to convince him to have us two
That'd be cool.
cast this event, because 70 star is so cool.
I love
And
70
it's
star.
like a
What is 70 star?
70 star for speedrunning Super Mario 64.
So
Oh,
it's
okay.
basically a no major skips version of the game. So 70 is the amount of stars that you can beat it without like doing like BLJs. That's the least amount of stars you need
yeah.
to beat the game without BLJs. So
Okay,
they
no,
they
I-
just made BLJing illegal, and so
It's the condition to make sure that you go up the endless staircase with the correct amount of stars.
yeah.
I just
is-
basically did not realize that y'all were talking about Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we say 70 star, we mean
I,
60.
I'm just so ingrained in the speedrunning community that you say 70 star, and I just assume everyone knows what you're talking about.
I
Yeah, exactly.
Even I know.
yeah.
I love BLJ.
Speedrunning
without
is
the
so
L.
cool.
Speaking
I could go off on a tangent.
Speaking of
about that.
speedrunning, I might learn my first speed game.
Which
soon.
one?
Oh, what is it?
Axiom Verge. The first one.
Who?
Axiom
Who?
Verge.
I'm a
Rachel's
good
trying to
speedrunner in
fuck me.
bracket. I get out of bracket pretty
Hey,
fast.
no,
True.
I'm the exact same
We'll
way.
be so based. We'll be so
We
based.
should honestly have a competition between ourselves and like between everyone we've had on the podcast to see who actually is the worst player.
The worst
Who
player.
is the most who has the least chance of beating the commentator alligator?
I farm the
I think
commentator.
it's
bro.
good.
I've already beaten them.
I
so.
beat Waffle in a best of 5 $1 money match. So
it's
and I
Waffle.
was
on
Reed-
on
Reed
zero
has a-
practice.
Reed has a 1-0 on me in bracket, but I also like to think I'm a better player. Than
Oh, she's so much better than me. But I play Falco and she plays Snake.
that means nothing. You didn't even beat me with. I guess you did beat me with
I
Falco. What am I
did.
saying? I'm lying. I'm lying to the people.
And then you were nervous, and then your ego was shattered, and then I beat you in the Doc Ditto. That's what happened. That's what happened.
We played the Doc Ditto first.
No, we didn't.
Did-
played
did
it
we
second.
not?
We played it
That
second.
is also, you know what? Speaking of, Wolfie might be able to attest to this. Jared is King will tell you that his second and third best characters in some order are Ganondorf and Dr. Mario. We went last hit last. I challenged him to a Doc Ditto when he said that, and he responded like he was gonna just whoop me, and it went last doc last hit, and he was like, he started very much like he very clearly did not expect my doc to have hands. Because, unironically, my best character is Dr. Mario by a very wide margin.
which is wild.
I have no idea why. Dude, I wish I could have gone to Doc State Beatdown. I actually could have top 8'd that bracket.
It seems like Wolfie beat all of us in the allegations. 3-2
True.
at SmashCon.
Mhm.
Which one was
Yeah.
that?
Wolfie,
The last one.
Oh,
most recently.
oh shit, that one was mad stats.
Yeah, I got nothing on. I
Wolfie
got nothing
the
on that.
best player, clearly, on the
I,
podcast.
I also play Kazuya now, so I'm definitely the best.
Hold on,
Oh,
I'm a,
Harry-
you're a
whoa,
hater.
I'm joking.
whoa. Wolfie, I think you and I gotta run it then, because Snake beats Kazuya
That may be true,
on
but
FD.
But so-called I win this matchup when I electric win Godfist them all of a sudden.
True.
The matchup has
bait.
changed.
I'm
the
also-
matchup has skewed in my favor.
I'm also just gonna say though, Kazuya doesn't get to interact with Snake. Like, I'll just take you to FD. Please ban FD. I'm down.
Why
if
would you
ban
give
FD.
this-
So-called non-interactors, when I grab them, all of a sudden we're interacting.
No, I agree with. Okay. I had this conversation with Dark Blues, and he did not believe me until I showed him.
I also have to tell you, like, a lot, Urchul, that you need to stop thinking about theory because, like, you were like, in theory, like, this should be possible, and then it's just like never true. Like,
No. Hey, me not being able to implement easy theory that is actually. I recognize that not all theory is practical. There's a lot of theory that is that I am just too bad to do.
no, I'm saying the fact that you were like, Luigi's broken because
Luigi
can
is broken.
No, in theory, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. I never
In
said he was
theory.
broken in practice, but he is broken in theory.
Point and laugh, Luigi broke.
Hey. Last I checked, Luigi is Luigi Kid is kind of doing really
Alright.
well in Europe right now. So
It's also Europe.
something. And
It's-
what?
Europe doesn't exist. They have
Yes.
a time zone 5 hours in advance from us. That just like doesn't make sense. That how am I supposed to believe that as an American? That's real.
Name a European state right now. That's what I thought.
Canada?
UK.
Mexico.
Are we all casters, by the way?
Yeah.
That's
We're
the
all
point.
casters. Gerd is technically a TO first.
Yeah,
But
I'm
also a
I'm
commentator.
more known as a TO than I am as a caster, but I've done a bunch of regionals in my region, so I'm basically a caster. But like I'm more known for my TOing.
You could say I'm technically not, since I am not respected as a caster in this group call right now.
True.
Because I flake
this
everything
kid's
because
a
I
speedrunner.
have a full-time job. I am a
are.
speedrunner.
Oh, so you're one of those people who have a full-time job, and all of a sudden you think you're too good for this community.
No, I just
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Meanwhile, Wolfie and I out here balancing college full time with commentary.
Balancing?
Hold on.
I'm getting
I'm also
fucked.
balancing.
Bro,
grad
I'm
school.
getting
Don't
fucked
throw
too.
the shit
I'm
on
getting
me.
so fucked.
I do not, and I would just like to say I do not envy the burnout that you guys have. And
Also,
I don't have burnout. I
My-
pace myself.
I had
My
burnout. I'm not. Gonna
my
lie,
bank
bro.
account
Wow.
has less than $500 in it right now.
Damn, that's crazy.
Well, what a flex.
I
What a flex.
not to be that guy, but first of all, spending money on my own healthcare is like a lot of money. But I spent more money than your bank account today on like something for my health.
Yeah, no, dude, I have to I can.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
I am lucky that I did not that I hit my okay. Had to have had a medical situation, ended up hitting my premium, so my meds are covered by my insurance for the rest of the year now. Otherwise, they're like $500 every month, which is awful. And yeah, if not for that, I literally would not be able to afford to commentate because of my meds. So I feel you.
yeah.
All right. We've been dancing around in this topic the entire podcast.
Look, we don't get to talk about
But-
Xanadu Homecoming. You don't get your spot.
What
in
the
top-
hell, man? Let me
Fuck
share
off.
with the
That's
world,
fucked
bro.
up.
Nah, fuck.
This should be the last topic, though.
Listen,
Nah,
Xanadu
nah.
Homecoming, bro.
It's like the event.
Nah,
we gotta,
nah.
we gotta
The
talk about
We,
it.
we have to
Yeah.
talk about the events happening because
on.
we're all
This
involved.
is the only one that
All
really
right, all right.
matters.
We'll let you cook. We'll let you cook.
Alright.
We'll let
So
you cook.
anyway, what's happening this weekend is the Skydrop series.
Let's go! Skydrop series, and
You
that's
already
where.
know what it is.
And we're dropping the mic. This is the end of the podcast. This has been good to see you. Xanadu Homecoming. I don't know what that is, but whatever.
Xanadu Homecoming, basically.
Or is it?
it's
Or is
the-
it 500? Or is it Xanadu
It's the
500? Which one
500th
is-
edition, which is
500.
basically a
Oh.
celebration of all the legacy of Xanadu, essentially. They've been doing a lot of events leading up to it. They had Xanadu Legacy, they called it, where they had like, or no, it was called Smash Xanadu Legends, I believe. There they had like 64 and such like that. And then they had and Melee's gonna be there. They had the Bread and Butter, which happened last weekend, which was their legacy event. And now it is time for the big ol' event, which was going to be a super regional, but Gimmer is like, due to logistics, we took off the cap, and now it is at 306 events, which qualifies as an A tier event. So essentially, One day major, baby.
That is
Or just a
not-
1-day regional.
It's a one day.
It's a one day
One,
regional.
one
One-day
day,
regional,
one
essentially.
day.
It's a
A tier.
1-day super regional.
It's a major. I'll count it.
It's a major.
It's a
It's
major.
not a major.
It's not a major.
It's a
Wolfie
major.
sold
not a
days.
When you keep throwing the word major around, and makes it makes majors seem less worthy. If
No.
everything's a
True.
major, then nobody's a major.
No, I agree with you. I'm just like
Yeah,
I'll count. I want to count it
It's
for
like-
my friends who are casting it.
I'm putting that on the resume like how it
The
is.
the hard truth is that they will not see it as a major. They will just see it.
They'll
as a
just
big
yeah,
step.
they'll see it as what it is.
It's a
big old
super
tournament.
regional.
It's a super.
It's
super
good to
regional.
include.
Unless-
it's good to include.
Unless you you have to doctor a whole website. So you basically just like doctor a new website, make it look like a 3-day event, and then try to convince them it was
Yeah.
a major.
Because like
Oh yeah, because the Start GG page is literally like a copy of the Xanadu Homecoming events.
basically.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Oh, you know, I've commentated this Xanadu before. I think that's a
That's
good
crazy.
you came to the
Wait, which
East
one was
Coast?
that? Is this pre-COVID or
Yes, I did
post-COVID?
come to the East. I did come to the East Coast.
Crazy.
For
Damn.
SmashCon, I stayed here. I stayed in the East Coast for a week, for the purpose of casting East Coast locals. That was the biggest reason why I came. I commentated Xanadu and as well as the cave while I was there.
The cave.
Yeah, I remember the
The
pre-locals.
cave.
They're pretty
shout out the
nutty.
cave. Shout out Nerf.
Shout out to Nerf. The cave is where I actually was able to cast with Nerf and Momo. So shout out to them.
My goat.
And Xanadu is where I got to commentate with Scabs and Dom. There we go. That's where I was out there. And commentating those tournaments were great because I realized how good East Coast commentators were and how behind California was. So that's what motivated me
Really?
to work harder. Yeah, because California casters, as much as I hate to say this, I feel like I'm the last of the. I hate saying it because it makes me feel old. Well, I'm not. I'm part of the old guard of SoCal, right? Like this is like we're talking about like this is the time where SoCal PR had Void, Larry Lurr, Charlie the King, Elegant, these all fucking like good players, right? And I was there for that. I was there for that. I was able to be part of that thing. Then all of a sudden, after like, especially when COVID happened, there was like new people, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And that also came with casters, dude. Getting into casting when I first started was brutal because we had Charles, we had Z-Fly, we had Vance, we had Strides, we had it was so many others. It was so top heavy, and they would come to locals too. So all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I can't get anything. So you have to like fight for everything you can possibly get. But like coming over to, so like all of a sudden now I'm like one of the last remaining old kind of casters for Smash. So I'm just like, okay, SoCal's like we're a little behind, but we're doing good. And I came to East Coast and I commented with people there. I was like, holy shit, they're really fucking good, you know. And
Yeah.
that's something I was really happy
So
about.
mean-
the other thing I will say is that was in August, right? So that was before I cast Bay with Momo, and that means that was like we're talking about Momo being like a brand new commentator at that point. And like I only mention that because like Momo talks about like that era of his commentary as not canon because he considers it so much worse than he is now that it's like not even like something he wants to consider thinking about in terms of like his comms as reflective of him now, which is crazy.
Really? For that kind of period, including when he casted with me?
I know that. I mean, I know that he counts like that era. I don't know if he includes the block he cast with you, but I know like he counts our
He
block
better.
in September at Bay as quote
He
unquote
better.
not
He-
canon anymore.
He better not. And as much as Momo will try to run away from it, every single time you cast, it's canon.
True.
It is.
Exactly. It's the VODs are still on YouTube, baby. They're
Except for
somewhere.
that one set
There's
Reed and
some-
I cast.
You gotta embrace
Not
the
true.
cringe.
Not true. I didn't cast that. I wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was just me. Okay.
It was just you. It was you and Tall, I think.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
But yeah, we should call out Momo. somehow. Let's
No,
farm.
I
love Momo. That man's my goat.
We're gonna call out Momo.
Let's farm a Twitter clip. Okay, guys, I'm leaving it to you guys.
Momo, you're great. Don't let the allegations get to you.
No, we're doing
What
this
the
wrong.
hell?
No one is liking this tweet. We need more
We're supposed to
content so
slander.
people will watch us.
What is y'all talking about?
Hey, I think
I don't even know.
Hear me out. I
Content
think
farming
Wolfie's. I think Wolfie's our guest. So if we're trying to farm for content,
I just love when a third party is mentioned
All right,
that's
I
not in the
got it.
call,
Well,
and then just calling
Don't
them out.
worry. Listen, Wolfie, when I come to the East Coast, or when I come
Yes.
to the West Coast,
Fake.
I'm
fake.
challenging you to a money match.
Oh,
bet.
A
Same
a
here.
$5 money match. We'll make it $20.
$5. You're
And
gonna
a
go all.
Kazuya Diddy
You're gonna
and a
go
Ditto.
all the way to be like, I'm gonna challenge you for $5.
Snivy, since when do you play Kazuya? Hold on.
I don't.
You don't need to. My character's fucking.
Snivy, do you want my box?
Yeah, I'll take the box.
You can
Take
also
the
take
Smash
my box.
I got it.
Hey, if you guys have questions about commentary, now's a good time to ask.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I definitely had some, but I also was. Maybe we should make sure we talk about the events that are happening this week as well.
I mean,
No, fuck those
The
events.
2-hour episode, baby.
we are
Let's go.
over. We are over time, so we have to choose one.
I feel like, okay, because I want to
we
at
can
least.
talk about the events when I'm not here.
That's
Feel like
true.
you-
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I just want to shout out then before we get on. Catch Snivy at Xanadu Homecoming. Catch myself at the Come Up. Catch Gerd and Waffle at Skydrop Series.
Watch
And then
Skydrop.
also catch Wolfie and myself at Best of the West.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Can you
So,
guys? Can you guys?
That one's online, right?
The best
It's not
of
like
best,
online
baby.
tournament, but you guys are casting remotely.
Yes, we're casting remotely. That being
I was gonna consider doing it on like Sunday, but I'm like, I don't know if I should do that.
that being said, yeah, I guess commentary questions for Wolfie. I know I have one, but I just did the whole segue. So anyone else want to start?
I have a question.
So
How many times do you lie on the microphone?
That is the
Slayer
most.
accidentally.
That is the most read question ever. Holy cow, Waffle.
I lie every time I get on the mic.
No, you didn't answer my follow-up question.
I didn't hear you.
Purposely or accidentally?
Accidentally. You can answer both, but probably accidentally.
Accidentally, I'll do it like on occasion, but like I'll take accountability for it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if my co-commentator corrects me. I love it when they do that.
Yeah.
Because
My co-casters
get
get
some-
so
some-
mad.
think
some
it's
people
funny
get
as fuck.
embarrassed. Some people get embarrassed. I love doing it because I know that if I said it, that means someone else who's watching has definitely thought the same thing.
Yeah.
So then what I do instead of getting like upset or embarrassed, I'm just like, oh really? Why don't you tell me more about it? And then they talk about it because like one of the biggest ones is actually when Jet educated me more about Pac-Man fruit because I thought that if you threw it the second time, you can't catch it the second time, but you actually can if you throw it in a different way. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't fucking know about that.
You only can if it's charged again as an item first.
Yeah, there you go, you nerd.
If it's just caught and rethrown, it doesn't matter which direction it's thrown. It still can't be caught again. It has to be like charged again.
Analytical
first.
cast.
So I love that
Analytical
Wolfie talking
cast,
about
lol.
getting corrected on something gets further corrected.
Nerd.
Wolfie, would you describe yourself as a analytical or play-by-play or mix of both, or any special
I'm just.
characteristic?
I hate putting like a title to it, but I'm just a.
I'm just curious.
just a
Like, what do
vibe.
it doesn't have to be like a one or other type thing. It could be a mix, or it could just be like a 70% to 30% kind of thing.
I
you
originally
lean
started
towards?
out as a play-by-play commentator in League of Legends, but now, because I've done casting for so long and understood the strengths of it, I can kind of confidently say I can be both, which is like really good to have because like, I think people mistake color commentary or like analytical stuff by having because some people think, oh, if you're funny, you're a fucking color commentator. I'm like, that's not how that works. And if you're like analytical, they just talk about analyzing stuff. And I'm like, well, this is boring. You have to have a healthy mix of both because like
you don't know who you're gonna
People-
get. You don't know who you're gonna be casting with. So like,
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And-
And if you match the tone of like the tournament and the vibe, that's all that really matters to me. It's like if you match it and you are, and if you're pacing well with your co-caster, then it's gonna go well. Like that's all that really matters to me.
no, I completely agree. That's like how I work with it. It's like I'm just gonna do the vibe. I'm gonna intro. We're gonna talk. We're gonna see what we both like about the game and go from there. You know, I'm gonna. If there's a Sonic on the screen, I'm gonna be like, Sonic's cringe, and I hope the person next to me agrees with me. If not, it's not gonna be a fun time. You know,
I'm not. I'm gonna say you're just wrong.
Sonic is
I will also-
cringe.
I
I
will
think
also say, not
Sonic-
only is
Yeah.
no, sorry, you go. You
I
go.
was just gonna say Sonic is only cringe if the player is cringe. That's it.
True. I will say though, not only will I say like I will not. I know like Devin. Shout out to House of 3000. Give House their
Hashtag free
Twitter
House of
back
3000.
again. Part 2.
Oh yeah, that show's horrible.
Still so funny to me though. I'm sorry, Devin. But I know like Devin will like actually hates it if you shit on players on the mic. I
think
know
a lot of
he
people
really
do.
doesn't like it. Because like as a commentator, right, we're supposed to be unbiased, and like yeah, there are certain like you can have bias to some degree. Like I don't think any like everybody who casts me knows or listens to me cast knows that if I get a Snake or a Little Mac or a Wii Fit trainer or a Duck Hunt, like I'm gonna just like be like a kid in a candy store, right? Because I play those characters, but like that's where my bias comes in is kind of in like a positive way, and like making sure that you're not like being like, you know, being like, oh, this stage sucks or this character's miserable to watch or play against as a commentator is really important, because your whole job is to make the players look good and make the event look good, and if you're shitting on the players playing in the event, you are doing neither of those things.
True. Positive.
Nah, I'm gonna continue calling Sonic cringe. I'm sorry. Can't stop me.
Bruh.
Can't stop me.
I guess we're not hiring you.
Yep, I don't care.
Bro
I'll
said
stick by my
nah.
normal.
Bro
by
said,
my
I
morals.
hear you. I hear you. Fuck you.
That is Reed and I's entire relationship on the mic too.
I don't do it too much at regionals, so I'm gonna do it at my local every single time.
Yeah, no,
I will
locals
100%
locals
do
are
it.
different. Honestly, locals are different, right? Like locals, everybody knows each other, so there's a lot more of a. Again, it depends on the atmosphere of your local. Like you know, the players that you are gonna be casting probably a lot more regularly, like a lot more personally, and if they're okay with it, then that can be okay. Like local commentary is very different than regional or major commentary for sure.
No, it's funny because Gerd will usually have like VGC watch parties in his Discord server, and it would literally be like, I'm just like every fifth word out of my mouth is like, oh, that strat is so cringe. So I'm like at Skydrop series tomorrow, I'm going to avoid using that word at all costs because I'm like,
You're gonna say
because
it.
it's just
No, you know what? I'm gonna say it because if there's a cringe strat, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna call it out.
That being
I
said,
will be biased on comms.
Man, Gerd,
We are
I really
being
have to
biased
join
on
your
comms
Discord
at
server.
Skydrop.
I gotta join your Discord.
I've invited
server.
you twice.
I know. I'm just bad at clicking links.
So Wolfie, how do you feel about the current meta of commentators in this day and age?
What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate?
Like, what do you mean by meta? There's a meta?
There's a
Yeah.
me metagaming in my head.
Like, what do you
I don't know.
mean?
I feel like it's like kind of going what you were saying before. Like a lot of casters nowadays are like very flexible between the roles of like play-by-play, color, and like analyst and stuff like that. So they can like transition pretty well. Which a lot of East Coast casters here, like a lot of them are good, very good at doing both, and they like rounding out their skill set. I know we were talking about Momo earlier. Momo's mainly good at doing play-by-play, but he really wants to like learn the game more and be like kind of on the analyst side, so he can like be very flexible between partners and such like that. And then I guess also on top of that, I guess I don't know, like you were saying before, how it was very hard back in the day to get events with like all the top talents in the area, and Tri-State is a very very top heavy
Oh yeah.
play
Yep.
region. with, like,
Yeah.
all of our casters and everything.
New
It's
England is too. New
At-
England is too.
At local levels, it's pretty. I want to say it's pretty easy to like just hop on the mic because it's mostly just open comms. Regionals, I also kind of feel like it's easy to get spots since not a lot. Even though like a lot of the time the top level casters do it, it's mostly people like Ubel, Lyric,
Yeah, it's
Dom.
only one. It's only one or two because
Yeah.
they want to get paid, and a lot of the top casters in New England only do events if they get paid. And
Paid.
yeah, and
Except for me.
and
Getting
events
paid?
just don't have enough money to pay more than one or two of the top talent.
Hey,
So,
Except for meter
if you want,
management.
if you in the New England or tri-state area want to save money on casters, I'll do it for free. Just saying. I have a
do
full-time
it for
job. I
free
don't need
if I
that
can get,
$10 or
but,
whatever.
so it's more so, and then like majors. Good luck, bro. I'll see you in 5 years when they retire. So it's basically like attendance check, grind up your skill set to be on par with all the other casters in your area, and at that major level that they'll be like, oh shit, this guy's pretty good. He won't slander our players or our events. Keeps it nice and esports, you know.
It's networking as well.
Yeah.
I think Ian talked about it earlier as well, but I think networking is really important. But yeah, top heavy stuff. This is where I disagreed with Ian. I remember listening. He's just like, yo, you have so many tournaments on the East Coast. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is that if you're not already established, good fucking luck getting to those tournaments.
Exactly.
I feel like he forgot that because he's somewhat established. Because like I can say if I moved to East Coast now, I think I would have a good shot because I'm already a pretty established commentator. But in the perspective of like other people, that's not a fair assumption, right? Because like I bet you there's a lot of commentators on the East Coast who want to do these tournaments, but don't necessarily like have the opportunity to do so. And I feel like that this is gonna sound like really like deep shit, but like I feel like that somewhere along your journey to be a caster, when you start getting more and more, you forget a part about yourself that when you start, and when you do, when you lose that part of yourself, you tend to forget about how it started and whatnot. So being a way to reignite yourself as a caster is to remember how you started and who you were when you started, and being able to look at that person in the eyes and be able to say like, hey man, we made it this far, let's keep doing it, but I'm not going to forget where we began. Because when you do, that's when casting stops being casting and where it feels like it's becoming a job. And when something becomes a job like that where you're not happy, then it's not really something that you want to do. And like the top heavy stuff talent, yeah, I felt that struggle before. When I first started, my first major was Switchfest, and then after that, that was in SoCal, and after that I was like, shit, I'm not getting any other fucking majors. What am I supposed to do? So I did the most logical thing. I outsourced and I flew to Europe.
Hey, I'm trying to do
It
the
works.
same thing.
It works.
I flew to the Netherlands for Syndicate 2019.
Is that a major
And
or
after-
regional?
It was a major.
Oh shit.
And after that, I was like, all right, what's next? And then I commentated Phantom 2020 in Australia. I had to fly there too.
You commented Phantom? That's
I
sick.
did. I
That is super
commentated
sick.
Phantom with Rod. That's actually where I cast with him for the first
Okay.
time.
That's pretty cool.
And I think the best part about casting, and I talked to Lyric about it a while ago when I was feeling really lost, because that's what I got, I think. After I commentated Double Down and Wave Dash, I was feeling super into myself. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna do more majors after that. And then I got rejected by 20 tournaments in a row. And I remember pounding my fist against the wall, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then Lyric basically told me that, like, you're not obligated for these tournaments. You've done a lot already, and you need to essentially relearn why you fell in love with casting, and that resonated with me the most. Is that you need to never forget why you started casting and why you fucking love that so much. And then after that, it came true, right? I got main stage. I was able to commentate main stage. Best moment of my life. I was fucking ecstatic. I was fucking excited. And then Daddy's Dead next Supreme, and then major upset. Daddy's Dead next Supreme. Funny story. I actually pulled a muscle on there because during one of the during one of the after parties, they're just like, all right, guys, who wants to wrestle the fucking lawn? And sober me would be like, what the hell? Fuck no. 20 drinks after me was like, oh fuck yeah, let's do it.
I've done the exact same thing, Wolfie. Ultimate frisbee parties go freaking wild.
Yeah, and then what happened was is that I was able to meet with people, and the best part is that like with couches and whatnot, I'm just genuine with them. Like networking and stuff to me feels really wrong if you don't make an actual connection. I hate being forced. I hate being fake as fuck.
I agree.
And because
Same
the
here.
thing is that for especially like if you're a TO and whatnot, you know when people are being fake with you. It's not hard to like figure people out, especially like when their intentions are something else than they're trying to get like close with you. It's just like, yeah, okay, let's see who you really are. I think that's like a really, really, really important thing. And the respect goes to TOs out there because they deal with a lot of bullshit that like they don't talk about because like they can't talk about it. And yeah, look at y'all nodding your heads because I know y'all got like more than 20 stories about some bullshit you had to go through
Damn
that you can't
right
talk
I do.
that you can't talk about
Recently
in public.
and
See, already.
damn
Started
right.
talking
Speak
about
your
that.
truth.
Because like
I want to
damn.
speak too, but I won't on a caster podcast,
Yeah.
and that's gonna wrap it up. We should probably
Well,
wrap
wait,
it up. One last story,
I
but-
still have a question. I've been waiting.
No, we don't have enough time for another
Okay,
question.
I'll ask after
can-
the podcast.
But,
I'll ask
can
after
ask
the
after
but
podcast.
what I was going to say was that Gerd, I have to be honest with you. I've been networking with you this entire time. I'm not actually your friend.
Damn.
And that's where we end the podcast. Mic drop. Let's get out of here. I got work in like an hour. Thank you, Wolfie Scratch, for coming onto the podcast. Where can our 14 subscribers, I think we're at 14 now, where can they find you?
We'll get up there eventually.
You can find me on Twitter at WOLFESCRATCH. I have 9,605 followers. Y'all can be one of them.
Maybe some of those followers will end up here one day.
No. All right, like I was saying.
I would.
That's so fair.
True. All right. I'm the Waffle Man. Don't follow me, please. I'm cringe. Anyone else want to go before
Yeah,
I cut the mic?
I'm Ritual. You can follow me on Twitter at RitualSSB. I guess because we're quoting our accounts, I'm at 721 Twitter followers now. And that's kind of cool because I was at 685 last week.
You're looking at that number a lot.
Damn, that's kind of cringe.
I've been
I wasn't
That's kinda
intentionally looking at it a lot. It just happened.
Ritual SSB. That's kind of cringe, bro.
That's cap.
SS Beam the tag.
SSB is the tag. That's what I'm saying.
I wanted ritual casting so bad. And it's already taken.
All right.
Okay, I did what I could. I had to settle.
And you can follow me at Syndicate Snivy. You can check me out at this weekend on the mainstream at VG Bootcamp for Xanadu 500. Gerd.
Humble brag.
Gerd, get us out of here. Get us out.
Free.
Go to Skydrop series. That's all I got.
Skydrop series, baby.
Woo! All right, peace out. Bye. Whatever. Sayonara. That's another word. Adios. That's Spanish.